Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So far no fi'l. There's no fi'l in Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. They're all isms or harf. There's no fi'l in Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. No fi'ls yet. If you look at the meaning, you know, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, most compassionate, most merciful. Maliki Yawmiddin, the owner of the day of judgment. No fi'ls, nothing that implies an action. Iyaka na'budu. So na'budu is the fi'l. And na'budu is which fi'l? What's that? Abada, yeah. So is it, what I need to, the question is it a thulathi or rubai? First of all, na'budu. It's a thulathi. Because it's from abada, right? And if you think about na'budu, it is like naf'alu, nasma'u, nadribu, nahsibu, nakrumu, and so on, which kind of sounds like yadribu, right? The only thing that is different is instead of the ya we have noon. Na'budu, right? If you look at your charts, find the word, the fi'l that is closest to na'budu. And it will be something like nadribu or nasma'u or nakrumu and so on. And how do you know it is, first of all, how do you know it's a thulathi? You know it's a thulathi because if you look at it, na'budu, if you look at it and analyze it, you know that the four letters that come at the beginning of mudari', anaytu or atain, are four, right? They are alif, ta, ya, and noon. Alif, ta, ya, and noon come at the beginning of mudari'. Anywhere you have mudari', it has to have one of these letters at the beginning. Either alif, or ta, or ya, or noon. In this case, what do we have? Noon. So that tells us that this is a mudari', and that once it's mudari', you know that the noon is extra, right? The noon is extra, and the way we made this was there was a fi'l, there was a madi from which we made it, and that had to have ayn, ba, and dal as its letters. Ayn, ba, and dal, right? So now this abada, or at least you know a in that, right? Because in madi, the first and then three-letter madi, the first letter and the last letter always have fatha. It's the middle letter that you don't know. But in this case, the dictionary tells us that it's a fatha. So abada. From abada, we ended up making ya'budu. And then when we continued to complete the whole chart, ya'budu, ya'budani, ya'buduna, all the way at the end is na'budu. The first person, dual or plural, feminine or masculine, they're all the same. So na'budu means we worship. So this is how you look at the fi'l and analyze it and find out if it is thulathi or not, or if it's madi or mudari'. But in this case, from the noon, you know that it is mudari'. It's mudari', right? If it's mudari', what kind of mudari' is it? Is it ma'ruf or majhul? Ma'ruf. Because look here, this is how ma'ruf is. The first letter has a fatha in ma'ruf, and the last has a dhamma. The second one has a sukoon. The third one can have anything, right? Because of the ayn. The ayn keeps changing. Yes.
What do ma'ruf and majhul mean?
Okay, ma'ruf is when let's look at the example. Daraba, he beat. It's a passive, right? Duriba, he was beaten. So this is a transitive verb. In this case, it is active voice. The equivalent of this would be active voice in English. This is passive voice. Here, the doer of the action is mentioned as a subject. Here, the receiver of the action. Daraba, he beat. He is the doer of the action. Duriba, he was beaten. He was beaten. The receiver of this action is the subject in terms of the English grammar. So that's how you know ma'ruf from majhul. So na'budu, then mudari' also has the same two forms, ma'ruf and majhul. And mudari' na'budu does it belong here or here? The harakat, the fatha, kasra, or dhamma will tell you which one it is. And obviously, the very first thing you notice is the noon has a fatha, it cannot be majhul. Because in majhul, the mudari', the ya, alif, noon, whatever letter comes at the beginning of mudari' always has to have a dhamma, right? The majhul, mudari' always has to have the first letter, which is ya, ta, noon, or alif, has to have a dhamma. And therefore, we determine that na'budu is not majhul, it is ma'ruf. And the meaning is also like that. Na'budu, we worship. We worship or we will worship, right? It's not, it doesn't mean we will be worshipped, right? Or we are worshipped. It is we worship. So the subject is the doer of the action, the one that does and performs the action. Na'budu. So is that clear how we determine na'budu is what kind of fi'l? First is mudari', then mudari' is we go back. Becomes thulathi because it has three letters in the past, ayn, ba, dal, and that's it. Is this clear? Yes.
It started with the noon, you know, it's 4 letters, right? You cannot get rid of noon. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that na'budu starts with a noon.
Yeah.
And including the noon, it's 4 letters.
Yes.
But since we know that mudari' starts with alif, ya, ta, and noon, which is something that we add to madi to make mudari'. And that's why we know that this is mudari'. Mudari' of this.
Yeah, I understand that it's mudari', but how do you know it's not a 3-letter word? How do you know it's a 4-letter word? Like,
Well, how do we know?
It's
How do we know?
4-letter, yeah.
It is 4-letter already, you know?
Yeah,
Count the
but-
letters, noon, ayn, ba, dal.
Yeah, but some letters are extra, right? How
Yeah.
do we know it's a letter of 4?
Yeah, how do you know which one is extra, right?
Yeah, I mean, how do I know there isn't any extra?
Okay, the way you know it is by looking at the harakat play really important role. The fatha, kasra, and dhamma, and so on. You know that this noon is extra because it rhymes with things that you already have seen, like naf'alu, nasma'u, nahsibu, nakrumu in the charts, nadribu, yeah, and so on. I mean, it becomes easy when you have reviewed some of the stuff and you have gone over some of the af'al, some of the fi'al. But this may not be true. You can't look at it and right away